afternoon, my name is Anna Navas and I'm the practice representative for KD Lifestyle Chiropractic, and I want to welcome all of you to a class that I believe will make a huge difference in the enjoyment of your life and the lives of your family. I want to talk to you about how you can stay young the first 100 years of your life. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, now wait just a minute, the title sounds catchy, but do I really need to know how to stay young for 100 years? This just sounds pretty far-fetched and ambitious. Well, it's really not. You need to start thinking about what it means for you and your families to live a long time. So let's take a look at some facts. In the year 1900, the average lifespan was 49 years old. Now, there's no question that this was because many people died when they were very young. We didn't have the kind of cures and we didn't provide the kind of healthcare that we provide today. But that's the point. Everybody's chances of living a long, healthy life was much less back then. As a matter of fact, the average lifespan today is 77.6 years and growing. In a recent study reported on the Today Show, scientists from the University of Texas reveal that by the year 2050, there will be over 800,000 Americans living to 100, and many will be living to 150. So what does that mean? It means that your kids need to know more about how to stay young the first 100 years than they need to worry about how they're going to spend your inheritance. Because you're probably going to live so long that by the time they get your inheritance, they might be retired themselves, assuming there is some. So yes, this is a topic that you and your families need to know about. If we're going to live for 100 years, which many of us are, we need that long life to be a quality life. We don't merely want to be able to exist on this planet. We want to be able to live, work, and play on this planet. We want to have a quality life. So now that we have a whole huge group of baby boomers that are moving into the 50 phase of life, we can see in large numbers what the effects of long life can be. Long life reveals that we will have some major areas of health concerns after 50 if we don't do something before we are 50 to prevent these problems. These are areas that we have not worried about before because we haven't had such large numbers reach such a ripe old age. For example, now we are continually being confronted with the devastation of mental diseases like Alzheimer's. This disease didn't just start. We just see it a lot more now because people are living longer, but dementia doesn't usually come on a person under 70 years of age. Now that we realize that the chances are much greater that we will live a long time past 50, we need to take some precautions to make sure we can still use our minds when we get to this age. We also see more of the importance in taking care of our skin. Old age has brought a huge growth in cosmetic surgery. More and more people are trying to correct the wrinkle problems that come with growing older. But the biggest problem that we have seen come about with the increased lifespan is the increase in musculoskeletal problems. In other words, your mobility function, our ability to move around like we used to. We have increased the odds of our living past 80 years of age, and we have increased our life's activities, but we have not changed the way we take care of our spine. We are the first generation to witness the ramifications that long life creates, and it reveals areas of neglect. Now, the stats show that the most common cause of functional disabilities in people over 50 years of age is spinal disorders. Wow, that's really important to know. How many of you plan on living past 50? How many of you think your families will live past 50? Alright, let's think about this as an example. If your house was going to be broken into and somebody was going to steal all of your possessions, but I knew who it was that was doing it, and I also knew when they were going to do it, and I even told you about it, would you do something about it to stop it, or would you just let it happen? Well, of course you would do something about it to stop it. Now I'm able to tell you what is going to rob you of your functional capacities and when it is going to happen. Are you going to do something about it, or are you just going to let it happen? Of course not. Let's prevent it. Just like we would prevent someone from breaking into your home if we could. But I think we can all agree that we should work harder to prevent our health from being stolen from us than we would our possessions from being stolen. Think about this. If we live to 105 and we lose our mobility at age 65, that is 40 years of immobility and pain. Let's take a look at some areas of healthcare where we have already made some huge adjustments and improvements. For example, let's take a look at the advancements we have made in tooth decay. We used to have many more cavities and loss of teeth in years past than we do now. But with all kinds of preventive care, our teeth last us longer and cause us less pain. Another example is also in taking care of our skin. There has been a 465% increase in the number of people wanting to get rid of wrinkles just since 1997. Wow, that is 12 million people that had cosmetic adjustments just last year to get rid of yet another ramification of getting older. Now, I am all for us having longer and lasting teeth and fewer wrinkles, but I'm sure all of us can agree that if you can't move, a lack of mobility will make you look a lot older than crow's feet. The only reason we take care of our wrinkles and our teeth before our spine and joints is for the simple fact that if our spine were on our face, we would probably take better care of it. We don't wait for our teeth to fall out, and we must not wait for our back to go out before we take care of it either, since the chances are absolutely huge that you will live 30 to 40 years past the age of 50. But why is it even more important than your teeth? Because there's no such thing as a spine transplant. There's no going back like you can with teeth, and there are many other organs that can be replaced as well. But there is no crown or replacement. You just have to live with the pain. And don't forget, this isn't just limited to back pain. You can't get a new neck either. 1 out of every 3 people suffer today with neck pain past the age of 50. So let's see a rising of hands here. How many of you would like to use your neck past the age of 50 without experiencing any neck pain? That's a pretty big club. So if 1 out of 3 people suffer today with neck pain and 85 out of 100 suffer with back pain, that is as high of statistics as I would think anyone would need in order to be convinced that we need to do something preventive about this. But just in case you need a little more convincing, let's take a look at what will happen if we don't do anything to prevent this, and if we just let nature take its natural course. Take a look at this mobility scale. The numbers on the bottom of this scale represent your age, and the numbers on the side of this scale represent the percentage of maximum mobility that you can have. If you take a look at the blue line, you can see that you reach 100% mobility, or your maximum mobility, at around age 23. But if we continue to look at the blue line, you can see that we lose about 50% of the mobility we had when we were 23 at around age 50. Now, many people around the age of 50 can testify that that's pretty conservative. However, we continue to look at the blue line. By the time we are 60, we only have about 25% of the mobility we had when we were 23. Now, the question to this revealing graph is, can the scale be changed? Do we have to accept this as just the way it is, or can we alter the results? The good news is with preventive chiropractic care, we can make a big change to the line of this scale. Take a look at the red line of what happens if we just let nature take its natural course, and then the green line of how we can prevent that with some chiropractic care. We can see here that our mobility can actually be held at 75% through 80 years of age. Now that is what you want and need, and that is what you want for your family as well. If we're going to be here, we might as well be able to move and function. So why not take the necessary steps to make this happen? Well, one answer you may be thinking is, this is the perfect thing to do if you're young, but what about all of us that have already experienced pain? What if we're already past 50? Is it too late to start? Absolutely not. In fact, I congratulate you for getting here now. It's never too late to do the right thing. We want to get you on the right track to a great life, and here's how we can do it. The first thing you need to know is to follow through the entire recommendations of care that you were given. The reason I mentioned this is because you have already lived a long time with the mentality that you only have to take care of your spine if you experience pain, and that after pain you no longer need treatments. But listen, if you drop out after pain relief, you are never going to change the result of the scale you just looked at. Pain is always the last to show and the first to go. The only way you can change that is to change the scale, is to follow with all 3 phases of recommended care. Let's take a look at those 3 phases. The first phase is pain relief. Now, this is a reminder for some of you. So let's review to understand you understand the cause of the pain and other related health problems. You have what is called subluxations, which is a misalignment of the spine and of the vertebrae that's causing the nerve interference. So it's pinching the nerve, which can impact many areas and organs of the body, causing disease in ways you may have never related to a back problem. Picture it like this. If you have ever hooked up a garden hose and turned on the water, and it looks perfect unless there is a twink or a kink or a twist on the hose. If the hose has gone twisted, it stops the flow of water that should be going through the hose. We might call that a subluxation of the hose. In other words, the misalignment of your spine is causing the nerve interference or stopping the flow of the message from the nerves to other organs or parts, causing back pain and a lot of physical ailments due to the nerve interference. When the nerve interference is removed, the nerve flow is restored, and so is your health. So how do we remove the nerve interference? Through a series of adjustments. The adjustments gradually remove your spine back in the alignment and away from the nerve, allowing the body to heal itself. You say, great! I get a series of adjustments that removes the interference, getting rid of the pain, and the problem. So why can't I just drop out after I feel no more pain? It's important to emphasize that the first phase of your care, and alone it will never solve your problem or change your mobility scale. We must proceed to phase 2 of care, which is the stabilization phase. There is a reason why you must not stop with your care after you get out of pain. Your spine has actually been misaligned for a long time, and your body has now accepted that as the normal way and the correct way. Your body actually thinks that that's the way it's supposed to be because it has been that way for so long. Now the body muscles and spine must be retrained. The spine must remain in a proper position for long enough time for the body to accept the proper alignment and accept it as the norm. It's called a stabilization, and it takes time. Unless the spine and joints are retrained with adjustments and kept in the proper position for a longer period of time, your body will naturally pull your spine back into that misaligned position. So why does it take hard work and time? Well, as an example, if you go to the gym in one visit, do you get in shape? Can you lift weights one time and enjoy bigger muscles? We all wish we could go to the gym one time and come back looking like Mr. or Mrs. Olympia. But we all know it can't be done. It takes time and work to get your musculoskeletal system stabilized. It's going to take some time and a number of treatments, and we need all of them. Did the orthodontist straighten your teeth on the first visit? Of course not. It took time and work. And even after your teeth were straight, you wore your braces even longer. And then after your braces were taken off, you wore your retainer for even a longer time. In the same way, I have given you a recommendation of care that will not only get you out of pain, but you must follow so that we can get you in a stabilized condition, meaning that your body has accepted a healthy, proper alignment as the norm for your body. Once we have reached a stabilization condition, we will dismiss you from our active care and move you to the phase of the recovery, and that is the maintenance and preventive stage of your care. I get the most excited about this stage because this stage is where you're actually able to change that mobility scale for your life that I showed you earlier. It isn't enough to take your pain away. We want to get you healthy and move to an opportunity where you can enjoy life. This is what you want, isn't it? The good news is this stage will not require a lot of money. It will be simple, affordable, but at the same time, the dividends you pay in your health life will make it worth the effort. Preventive care is essential towards changing that mobility skill for your lifetime. Even as I'm talking, I can hear some of the thoughts running through your heads, and you're thinking, I knew it. I heard it before that the chiropractor will want you to come back for the rest of your life. Well, maybe you're right, but before you make any judgments, let me ask you a question. What doctor have you ever been to that said, don't come back again? Did the dentist say that? Don't come back until your teeth fall out. Of course he did not. That would be malpractice thing. They push you to do the right thing, which is preventive care. Do you remember when you first got your eyes checked out, probably around the 3rd grade, and your doctor said, great news, your eyes are fine. So as far as we're concerned, don't bother coming back again unless, of course, you lose your eyesight, which in that case, you might want to come back. I think it's time for you to be honest. There isn't any doctor who has or should recommend that you ignore your health until it becomes a problem, and we certainly can't either, because that isn't what you need to enjoy your life. Be assured, we don't want you to come in any more times than you have to. Our recommendations of care change that mobility skill for your life. And our adjusting rooms are already full as it is. The purpose is to change that mobility skill for your life. So you can, so we can't remove your wrinkles or make your teeth stay white, but we can make it much more possible to move. So you can live, work, and play, and stay young these first 100 years of your life. So I'm going to share a testimonial here that is very personal, but I believe people can relate to it. I used to suffer with a lot of back pain before coming to the chiropractor. My pain was around this region, and it was after I spent the summer with my mom. She had received surgery, and I was constantly carrying her and taking care of her, and that resulted from extreme back pain almost every single day. And I was also having other problems associated with the back pain, but I would have never related those problems to a back problem. I was also suffering from severe chronic constipation. I only had bowel movements around once a week. I was taking prescribed laxatives and taking teas, but I never felt any relief. I had constant pressure in my lower abdomen area along with the back pain, and it was completely uncomfortable, and I was so young to be experiencing that, or it's at least what I thought. And when I went to the chiropractor the first time, I went for the lower back pain, and I was surprised to see that within the first 20 minutes after my first adjustment, not only did I feel a relief, huge relief in that lower back region that was so tense and pain, but I also was able to have bowel movements with an ease that I had not experienced in years. And ever since, I have not experienced any more lower back pain. I feel great, and I'm so thankful to chiropractic, and I have bowel movements at least once a week. So that just shows how that misalignment of the spine and that lumbar region was causing me to have other problems that were related to that back pain, but I would have never imagined that could have a relation to it. So now, right about this time, you should be thinking, hey, wait a minute, I do care about my health and the future of my family. I have family and friends that I know would have never really thought or known about the kind of information that we have been talking about today. What about their health and their future, their mobility skill? Is there anything that they can do about that? The answer is absolutely. You should know that it's never too late to start. In fact, even a newborn child has already experienced great trauma to the spine during childbirth and should be examined. When you think about the tremendous pressure that is put on our neck during childbirth, I think it's very easy to see why we actually start our lives with untreated problems. So obviously, you and your family need to come in and be evaluated for a simple, easy, and healthy plan towards preventing a life of immobility. The good news is, with a little preventive chiropractic care, we can eliminate much of the pain management in later years. So to show you how sincere we are about this, I have asked my assistant Martha to help me help you. We have our appointment book scheduled with us right now, with available times for you and your family to schedule an appointment with us. As I said, I want to put your health and their health and future ahead of everything else. So to show you how serious we are about this, I will allow you and your family to have complete first day services, which includes exam and x-ray if necessary, for a total cost of only $40. And we will donate those $40 to the Crossy Children's Center. This allows you and your family to get started and see for yourself how much it can mean to your health without being a cost issue. To take advantage of this opportunity, you must schedule with Martha tonight. We must keep this confined to those that are here. I know that you don't know your family's schedule, so if you want to schedule a family member, but I will tell you right now that at the time that you schedule for them becomes impossible for them to make, they can always call and reschedule because they will already be in our books. And it will require no explanation other than a new time. Well, I hope you have enjoyed, and most importantly, plan on doing everything you can to stay young these first 100 years of your life. Thank you.